What do you think?
Joe Rossano's pick of the season, Zach Gallen. Get Zach. Get Zach. Go, Michael. Tell me where I'm going wrong, because I'm telling you, I'm
Tell
not.
you where you're
Go.
going wrong, Joe. This is the one where you're going wrong of these three. Like, I'll take any of them, right? I'll take any of the three. But here's the thing about Zach Gallen. For the last 4 years, this is his ERA. 3.4, 3.6, and 4.8. Rising for each of the last 4 years.
Are you ready for the good, the bad, and the ugly? Joe Rossano's Orioles Report with Michael Sullivan is next. Welcome to Joe Rossano's Orioles Report with Michael Sullivan. And if it's good, we'll say it. If it's bad, we'll say it. If it's ugly, we'll say it. Michael Sullivan, what do you got for us today, sir?
Hey, man, I think we're getting to a very exciting time of the year. We're sitting here in the second week of January, and it's very exciting that we're less than 4 weeks away from guys who are playing in the World Baseball Classic, and the Orioles have some reporting to Sarasota. So pitchers and catchers who are playing in the World Baseball Classic are reporting February 9th. Position players report February 12th. By February 16th, right? So 34 days from when this is being recorded, but, for all intents and purposes, 5 weeks from now, the entire roster shows up in Sarasota. So I don't know about you, but I'm pretty pumped about that. As a matter of fact, I sent an email to a friend today saying, hey, do you want to go down to Sarasota? So maybe I will.
Is that what rich people do? Go down to Sarasota for spring training game?
I don't know, man. You're not that far from Sarasota. Why are you saying that to me? Like, it's probably a short drive from South Carolina.
Yeah, that's payback for calling out I was wearing my wife's shirt last show. The World Baseball Classic, Gunnar Henderson is playing. Anyone else from the Orioles off the top of your head? I mean, that's the only one that I was tracking at this time.
Well, I think I do believe, unless I'm mistaken.
I'm going to Google it while we're at it.
Well, I'm doing it right now too, but I think that Dean Kramer, I think in the last edition of this, he played for Israel.
Israel, yeah.
I think so. And so they have, he's playing for Israel. And, they may have a few other guys. But, I mean, I like the World Baseball Classic. I think it's exciting. I'm not sure it doesn't mess up guys, particularly pitchers, before the start of the season.
I got it. So. Here we go. For the United States, Gunnar Henderson, Pete Alonso said he would love to. And as you mentioned, Dean Kramer is playing for Team Israel. And lastly, you got Tyler O'Neill. Say a prayer that he makes it through he makes it to spring training. Is going to be representing Team Canada. I'm the owner. I'm not letting him play, but what are you going to do?
I don't know. I mean, I guess the other thing that we can talk about, which is still, it's been a quiet week. We're kind of in this a little bit of dead period. Is, who's still left on the free agent market, particularly among starting pitchers. And, what do we think of them? Everything I read says the Orioles are still in on these guys. So how about if we run down a few of them and let me know your thoughts. So here are the guys that I would think are on this list. And all the reporting suggests that the Orioles are still in on each of these guys. And right now, I'm just going to go with the free agents. And then if there's a trade candidate, we can talk about that too. Ranger Suárez, what do you think?
Amen. Ranger Suárez. You see, I'll take him. I'll take him. Of course I will. I mean, again, he is a front of the rotation guy. And what the Orioles have right now, okay, I mean, it's a no-brainer. They re-signed Eflin, which I got to be honest with you, I loved. Okay, you got Kyle Bradish, who is healthy. Okay, and again, if you add him to this rotation, they are not only the best offense in baseball, which many of the critics say they are, probably one of the top pitching staffs in all of baseball. So, yep, I'll take him. Next.
I think it'd be great. And, you mentioned, Bradish and, Trevor Rogers. And the thing is, if those two guys pitch the way they did in the second half last year, like those guys are both number one or number two starters. Now, we all know better than to just bank on guys being healthy. But, if those guys are healthy, that'd be fantastic. Right. Anyway, so Suarez, I guess obviously, yeah, exactly. It's like you heart. That's what, but that's why we're talking. He's not doing that. But that's why we're talking about them adding maybe a sixth starting pitcher. So the next guy would be Framber Valdez.
Yep.
What do you think?
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
I'll take him. Don't get me wrong. That whole incident last year with him throwing at his catcher. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I didn't like that. And he did it. All right, so let's come on, that he missed a sign or something. No, he got irritated at his own performance, took it out on his catcher, and threw the baseball at him. That's what he did. And again, I don't always like to see that. However, he's a front of the rotation guy. What he does, if he comes to the Orioles, what he brings to that starting rotation, again, with Trevor Rogers, Kyle Bradish, Eflin, I say don't sleep on Shane Baz. And at the end of the day, I mean, by golly, Dean Kramer, not too shabby either, quite frankly, just above a 4 ERA for his career. So, yeah, probably one of, if not the best pitching staffs in baseball if you get any of those two free agents you mentioned next, because
Right. So the
I
next
think I'm going
guy,
to like the next one.
if you like the next one, we're probably going to have an argument here. Because the next one
Boy,
on my
go
list
ahead.
is Zach Gallen.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Joe Rossano's pick of the season, Zach Gallen. Get Zach. Go, Michael. Tell me where I'm going wrong, because I'm telling you, I'm
Tell you
not.
where you're
Go.
going wrong, Joe. This is the one where you're going wrong of these three. Like, I'll take any of them, right? I'll take any of the three. But here's the thing about Zach Gallen. For the last 4 years, this is his ERA. 3.4, 3.6, and 4.8. Rising for each of the last 4 years. Now, he's durable. He's made 30 starts a year. He's pitched anywhere from 150 to 210 innings a year. He's super durable. But of these three guys, he's the one whose performance looks like it's slipped the most over the last 4 years. Probably makes him the most affordable, but I'd rather have one of the other two.
Well, if you're going to, throw statistics at me, Dylan Cease. Same thing. He did not pitch that well last year. His ERA was not good. Struck out a lot of people. But Toronto Blue Jays gave him, and I'm guessing here, and I'm going to look that up, had to give him what, over $200 million. So
Crazy
I mean, again, at the end of the day, this Zach Gallen, I'm telling you, he's going to pitch well wherever he goes. And again, if I had my choice, I don't think Ranger Suárez throws hard enough for me. Okay, I know what that sounded like. Framber Valdez, I don't know what he's like in the clubhouse. I do know that when he gets pissed off, he throws baseballs at people. And
Yeah.
Zach Gallen, again, yeah, this guy is durable. This guy's a bulldog. I like him. As Jim Carrey once said, I like him a lot. Again,
You might,
we'll see,
you
but
might,
I'm not even sure that he's the one they get.
well, you might sway me a little bit with those arguments, right? Because like Valdez, let's be honest about it. He might be a dick, okay? And do I want him in the clubhouse? Suárez is the least durable of the bunch. He's only made on average somewhere between like 22 and 29 starts over the last 4 years. So he's the least durable. He pitches the least innings of these three guys. And Valdez, Valdez is the oldest and the ones with the biggest sort of clubhouse questions. So you might win me over to the Zach to the Zach Gallen side simply because he makes his starts, he pitches his innings, he strikes out a fair number of guys, and his walks and hits per innings pitched is pretty solid. So, I mean, look, I'd be happy if they added any of the three, but I guess of the three, I'd lean towards Suárez or Gallen and let somebody else deal with the headache about Valdez if that's what it is.
Okay, I have two things for you, Michael. We're counting them
Yeah.
two. Dylan Cease, 2025 last season, 8-12, 4.55 ERA, 215 strikeouts. There's a surprise. His whip, 1.33. Okay. 7 years, $210 million. 7 years at 210. Okay, so again, Zach Gallen pitched a bit as well, I would imagine. Now I'm going to have to do that too. Okay, but because I'm dying for this comparison here. Okay, I really am. I want to see his numbers stack up against a guy that just got 7 years, 200 and what I say, 4 million. What do you get here? $210
210
million.
to 10?
200. Now, Joe Rossano's pick of the year, Zach Gallen, 13-15, 4.83, 175 strikeouts, whip 1.25. So here we go. I got to tell you, because you know how I think, Michael. I think like these guys. I'm an agent, okay? And Zach Gallen is he's getting 5 years, 195 million. If Cease got 7 at 210, Zach Gallen should get 6 at 195 at 195. So again, don't think he's going to be cheap. He's not. He's a starting pitcher who's now has postseason experience. So he's not gonna come cheap. He's going to cost just about as much as the other two. Believe that.
I think we may have touched on this before, but I'm touch on it again. Dean Kramer's no
Watch it.
Dylan Cease, right? I get it. But you
No,
know what?
no.
Statistically, he's almost better. Dean Kramer last year pitched, well, his last 3 years. His ERA was 4.12, 4.10, 4.19. He made 32 starts, 24 starts, 31 starts, right? He pitched a ton of innings.
No.
You know, he pitched 170 last year. He pitched 170 2 years ago. The only way in which Dean Kramer is not statistically better than Dylan Cease is in strikeouts. Is anybody going to pay Dean Kramer $30 million a year?
And there you have it. Yeah. Now, Dean Kramer's not a free agent either.
I know.
Once he becomes a free agent, they start talking about him on the MLB network. Now he's going to be a name. 4 years, 90 million.
It
But
may
yeah,
very well be.
statistically speaking, and that's the thing. Now, again, at the end of the day, will they? See? Will they? I mean, I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't know if these guys have been offered something elsewhere or there's some type of negotiation ongoing. But, you know, if you're going to get Pete Alonso and all this other stuff, I mean, you might as well grab one of these fellas because, again, when the Orioles in 1979, give me an example. When they went to the World Series, you know what they did in 1980? They got a pitcher. You know what they did in 1980? When Steve Stone won 25 games in 1981, they went and got another pitcher. That is what you do to win, right? Pete Alonso, God bless him. I love him. He is not a front of the rotation starting pitcher. And I would really like one of these three guys. I really would. Or Michael Sullivan. There could be a trade on the horizon. Have you heard of this one?
Yeah, well, I think you mentioned it before we got on here, but give me. I think I know who you're talking about, but let me hear.
That is Freddy Peralta, and I got to tell you, Michael Sullivan, I love him. I'll take him over the other 3 free agents right now. Now, the Orioles are gonna have to dump some people for this one, and I'm gonna say Ryan Mountcastle. They are gonna want a major league ready starting pitcher, and that's gonna cost us Cade Povich. I do not see a scenario, okay? I'm the general manager in Milwaukee Brewers, okay? I want Cade Povich. I want that young left-hander that you got there. Ryan Mountcastle, that young left-hander,
I
and
think
another
you're out of
top
your
20
mind.
guy that in our in our minor leagues that we not a lot of people have heard of. I love Freddy Peralta. I think he's
Joe,
better than the 3 guys that are out there.
I absolutely agree with you that he's better than those 3 guys. But Joe, that trade scenario that
Well,
you're proposing, I wanna take you back to, like, a song from your youth. It's probably even before Dreamweaver, like, that's crazy to think that
love
they're gonna
Dreamweaver.
take that's crazy to think that they're gonna take Cade Povich. I'm sorry. If they are gonna trade for Peralta, they're gonna give up Dean Kramer.
Mm,
Ryan Mountcastle isn't worth a bucket of balls right now. He's under contract, but
what a
so what?
shame.
I know, but he hasn't hit for like 3 years. So, could you get Peralta?
What a
Maybe.
shame.
But if you were gonna get Peralta, you're gonna give up, as you said, if you wanna they're gonna want a proven major league pitcher, and that would be Dean
Yep.
Kramer, right? And that's okay. Because you'd be replacing the guy who was the 4 or 5 in our rotation with a number 1, and that'd be fantastic.
Yep.
But you're
Amen.
gonna give up you're gonna give up Kramer.
Mhm.
Mountcastle? No. Sorry, you're gonna give up Kobe Mayo. And you're probably gonna have to throw in Heston Kjerstad, which, we may
I'm
all
not
go,
negotiating with you.
"That's" well, I'm saying they're gonna go, "Well, you don't need him. Your outfield's packed. What are you gonna do with him? And he hasn't done anything for 2 years." And what is Elias gonna do? So either you're gonna give up Kjerstad or Enrique Bradfield or both of them if you wanna get Peralta. It's gonna take a haul to get him, and it's gonna
Gonna take a
include
haul and yeah. They're gonna want Colton Cowser. You watch. You heard it here.
oh,
They're gonna
well,
want
no, I think
Cowser. They're gonna want Povich. They're gonna want or Kramer. And they're gonna want Mountcastle or they're gonna want Mayo.
sure,
And yeah, maybe even Kjerstad sprinkled in there somewhere. Yeah, I mean you're not
right.
wrong. Yeah, exactly. I mean we're not trading Joe Rossano for Freddy Peralta here. No, I think they're going to want Cowser. I really do.
They might, and, that's not gonna break my heart either. Colton Cowser might be he had a good rookie season. He struggled a little bit last year. Do I think that there's great potential? I do, but I would certainly give up Cowser. I wouldn't want to give up Mayo, but what are they gonna do with Kobe Mayo?
I don't know. I don't know. But let's get back to Cowser real quick, okay? I have a
Okay.
scout's mentality when it comes to Cowser, okay? Guy's got a good jaw. He is engaged to a former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, which means he's got confidence. All right.
Yeah.
I would have to say, yeah, I would not like to see Colton Cowser go. I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
At the moment, he's the only guy really that they legitimately have to play center field. So that's sort of an issue. I mean, Bradfield might be
Mm,
ready to play center field, later in 2026, but if he
maybe
can, if he can hit, he's going to be a
he
light
can,
hitting
but
outfielder. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, yep, I'm talking they are gonna want, as you said, see, now Dean Kramer wasn't even on my radar. They're gonna want Kramer
Mm.
or Povich, Mountcastle, or the Kobe Mayos, possible Cowser, okay, and Kjerstad. I mean, yeah, oh yeah, they're gonna want 3 guys that everybody's heard of to get Peralta. There's no question about that. There is
What
no
is
but. I really do think Peralta is the best that of the four we talked about, Valdez, Suárez, Gallen, I will take Peralta. You heard it here. But I'll take Gallen if they go free agent.
So, but all right. So here's the thing. Freddy Peralta is a rental. He's got 1 year left on his contract.
Mm,
He's under contract for 2026. Now, the Orioles have a recent history of trading with the Milwaukee Brewers for a stud pitcher who has 1 year left on his contract. And they traded,
yeah,
they
they
traded,
sure did.
I'm going to say they robbed the Brewers by sending them Joey Ortiz and DL
Mhm.
Hall for 1 season of Corbin Burns. And I guess that's the one thing we haven't talked about is
Take
that
that.
if you change,
I make that
well, so
trade.
would
I
I, but
make that trade.
I would have made that trade 100 times.
I really do.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe this is the one thing we're overestimating about what the Brewers might need to get in return because Peralta's got 1 year. He's got 2026 under contract. So that makes him a little
Mm.
less valuable. Like you might
Yeah,
be
but
able to
who
get him
is
for
an
Kramer.
expendable that we talked about respectfully? Kramer for Peralta, okay, in
Kramer and Mayo.
2026. Take it.
Kramer and Mayo.
Okay. Mayo is the fifth first baseman, figuratively speaking. You know,
Yeah.
Kowser's an iffy one, and Kerstad, again, I'd say Beavers is in front of him now. Okay. Reed Trimble's in front of him now. I mean, yeah. I mean, again, if it's Kramer, Mayo, and Kerstad, you
Bradfield.
got a deal. Give me a call.
Yeah,
Tell
sure.
tell
Kramer,
Mr.
Mayo.
Elias if you're watching, give me a call, sir.
That's right.
I'll negotiate it.
Kramer, Mayo, Bradfield, or Kerstad, right? Sure. I mean, if you're going to take DL Hall and Joey Ortiz for 1 year of Corbin Burns,
Mhm.
That'd be a pretty good return for them because what the Brewers want
Yeah.
are young guys with contract control. So
Mhm.
it'd be a lot to pay
You
for
bet.
a guy who's only got a year left, but sure. I like
Well,
Dean Kramer,
Michael, again,
but if you're replacing him with Freddy Peralta,
yeah, you got me there, and I'll take it. Just remember, you heard it here. I'll take it, Michael. We have given the folks a lot of food for thought, and join us on the next Orioles report, Joe Rossano's Orioles report with Michael Sullivan. I want to get into Michael Sullivan, Craig Albernaz. Again, here comes
uh,
my anxiety disorder here. I got to talk about this again. So once again, folks, we graciously and wholeheartedly appreciate you joining us for Joe Rossano's Orioles report with the brilliant Michael Sullivan. Again, you get the good, the bad, and the ugly. We say God bless you. We say see you next time. Thank you very much.
see y'all.